We now return to Walk with the Wolves.
The moment has finally arrived. College football is back in our lives. Bryant Johnson with Walk with the Wolves. We've got Jim Brooks, voice of the Thunderwolves, stepping in. Joe Cervi, longtime Pueblo chieftain, columnist, writer, covers the Thunderwolves, calls CSU-Pueblo football with this man. And September 4th, West Texas A&M. It's right around the corner for a CSU-Pueblo football team that has so much excitement billowing around this team. There's excitement every year. But when you have the returning RMAC Offensive Player of the Year in Chris Bonner, the returning National Defensive Player of the Year in Darius Allen, this is a whole level of excitement that is new to even a Thunderwolf program that's won 37 straight regular season games.
Yeah, they're no longer a secret anywhere. They're right up there, and the star power is great. It's always great knowing you have your star quarterback back. You got a great wide receiver in Paul Browning, who's second team All-RMAC for some reason. I mean, that's just going to light a fire under Paul. You know he's going to have a monster year. And the defense, spectacular. Only lose a few guys here and there. That all signs point toward a great year.
And it's funny, we look at a guy like Ross Dowson, 3 years, putting together almost that game manager reputation, which was nonsense. He's throwing for over 220 yards a game, but you look at his last 2 years, he attempted 25 passes or more 11 times total. Bonner did that 11 times last season.
Yeah, Chris Bonner is a different cat, isn't he? He come out of junior college and he throws the prettiest deep ball you'll ever see, and he's got guys to go out and get it now with Kieran Duncan and Paul Browning and DeAndre the Coop Show Cooper. He's got weapons, and I know John Riston, I know Darren Wilkinson, I know these offensive coaches love having that quarterback back, and not just a serviceable quarterback, but a competitive, good one. And I think you don't have to look any farther than the Grand Valley game where he got hurt. It was a 34-31 game, and they didn't have him late in the game when they needed him, so that's the importance of Chris Bonner.
Even with Chris Ash not with the program anymore, this rushing attack is also volatile in its lethal nature and its big playability. What do you think right now? Rushing attack, passing attack, what's more dangerous?
Well, they're going to be balanced. They're going to do whatever the defense gives them, and we all got our fingers crossed. J.B. Matthews, if he's back, I mean, that's is he going to be back? We're hoping so, and if he is, that's just going to be a big bonus if he's there. But if he isn't there, they've proven they can plug in any number of guys, and the running attack goes. But I think they would like to run it maybe a little bit more this year, not rely so much on the pass. But I'm comfortable with whatever they want to do. I have faith in them.
Every year we find out immediately what this team is capable of. They have bolstered their non-conference schedule unlike any team in this conference. West Texas A&M is one thing, but Week 2, Huntsville, Texas, Sam Houston State, a week after they play in Baton Rouge at LSU. What's the road trip look like for you two? This is going to be an exhilarating opportunity.
This is a great statement game for CSU-Pueblo. They're going to get paid $125,000 for making the appearance, taking a charter, so they're going to travel like a Division I school, and they're going to go down there. They go down there Friday, and then they play Saturday night and come back on Saturday night after the game. It's big times. Sam Houston State's a very good Division I AA 1A program, FBS program, however you want to couch it. This will be their fourth game. They play the season opener of all college football, and the week before CSU-Pueblo goes down there, they play at LSU. So you're hoping, if you're a Go Tigers fan, that they beat them up a little bit so the Thunderwolves have a soft opponent.
Oh, and you look at where they were 2 years ago, facing off against Craig Bowl now at Wyoming. He was at North Dakota State. North Dakota State won the FCS national title game, but to be in a national title game and then to win an NCAA tournament game during an off year where they only won 9 games last year, Sam Houston State is better than a lot of FBS small school teams that are in the Sun Belt and other conferences.
It's going to be a tough matchup for them, but Thunderwolves, they like tough matchups. They play pretty good in them. I think they'll be competitive in that ball game. I don't think it's going to be some just go get paid, get blowout game. I think they'll be fine.
And we love talking about the glitz and glamour of skill position players, but offensive line returns 4 of 5 players as well. Losing Mike Pennell defensively as your nose guard is big, but a lot of those gritty positions where you just have to have blue-collar, workman-like players, they're returning as well.
Well, we know they got a new line coach, Joe, and we'll just see how that works out.
Dave Borberly replaces Chris Symington, an offensive line coach, and when you're offensive line coach, your first-year guy, he comes from Louisville. Not Louisiana Lafayette, although that's not a bad program, but he comes from Louisville. Charlie Strong goes to Texas, leaves, can't take his whole staff. Guy gets left back in the wash, is an offensive line coach. Hey, you need an offensive line coach. Let's go coach Division II. Of course, he's got kids in the state, and he's familiar with Colorado, so it made it an easy transition.
Right.
But the offensive line, a player that you're going to have to watch is a Pueblo product. Austin Payne might be the best-looking offensive lineman CSU-Pueblo's had since it reinstated the program.
Weight room junkie.
Well, and just physically gifted, nice kid, very talented. You got Zach Martinez, who is a self-made offensive line player. Those two guys right there, they're monsters.
Yeah.
And they're self-made monsters, and they're going to be part of a, you say running attack, passing attack, yes, because they can do both.
That's the mentality they want. You got Alan Hedrick, their strength and conditioning coach, who might be one of the most valuable coaches they have, and they all talk about it. And I mean, they have that mentality. They want to beat on you. And every one of those guys, you look at their program. We first started, Joe and I were like, look at these guys coming out on the field. Even the first playoff game, man, we're small. But now, you know, you look when they come out on the field, the other team looks kind of small.
We have Jimmy and I. We've been together long enough to know where we sit in the booth and we listen to music and we have an eye test. And if they pass the eye test, we kind of settle in and we feel a little bit more comfortable about our jobs for the next 3 hours. And for the first 2.5, 3 years, they didn't pass the eye test every week. But for the last 3 years, they've passed the eye test every week.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. More with Joe Cervi, Jim Brooks. This is Walk with the Wolves, all access with CSU Pueblo Athletics.
We will return to Walk with the Wolves after this quick commercial break.